Luis from Luisreviewer.com here, welcoming you to another podcast episode of the world of entertainment. Basically, I try to talk about movies, music, TV shows, and everything. So on this episode, I wanted to do it. I usually do it for Thursday, but I'm a little impatient at times, and I saw 3 movies in 3 days. I haven't done that in quite a while, and I wanted to talk about them as fast as I could because I don't know, I just felt like I needed to just review them right away rather than wait till Thursday. But before I get into the films, I'm gonna get right to them. I wanted to start by acknowledging the passing of Christopher Plummer. Of course, he recently won an Oscar for the film Beginners. I haven't seen it. Now, I know Christopher Plummer's, he's had a long career. You can see that he's basically been around since 1964, appearing in The Sound of Music. So, a lot of good films. But I confess, I've only seen his recent work. To me, his highlight for me was the film The Insider, where he played Mike Wallace alongside Al Pacino and Russell Crowe. That film, every actor in it is just so amazing, on point. And Christopher Plummer, of course, is one of them. I loved his performance in that film. I thought, the whole cast deserved praise for that film. But I have also seen The Inside Man, which is with Denzel. But seeing his list, Danny Collins, I've seen that one with Al Pacino also. He's a great actor. The movies that I've seen, I loved his work. And obviously, he was 82 years old, I think. But he will be missed. He was a good actor, and I did want to start by talking a little bit about him. And what else? What else is going on? WandaVision. I just finished reading the Marvel comic, The House of M, which I was told the series is loosely based. Great series, and yes, I saw a few things that I could have said, "Oh, they got it from here." But I think the show, one of the things that I thought when the show started and the criticism started rising, that it was boring, that it was this and that, I said, be patient. This is a show. It's not a movie. It's gonna take it slow, and I think I was right. Since episode 4, I think the show has been getting better and better and better, and we're just tapping on understanding what the first 2 episodes were about. And I have to hand it to Marvel once again. I think that they are doing a good show, and based on the trust that I've gained through WandaVision, I'm excited about the Falcon, which we saw in the trailer on the Super Bowl commercials. Which looks great with a lot of action. So I'm excited now to see it. Can't wait for the rest of Loki and all the rest of the series that are coming. But WandaVision, I think it's been a good show. A lot of little details. I'm currently watching the episodes that are available again just to see if I catch a few things. I've already catched that the commercials represent painful moments for Wanda, and but there are a lot of details which a lot of comic guys catch faster than me, because I do enjoy comics, but I stopped reading them for a period of time. I'm currently slowly getting into reading them again. I'm reading new titles like a new Amazing Spider-Man, a few things, so I'm trying to get back into it. But I think the show, it's been great. I can't wait to see what happens, along the way. So that's basically what I've been watching in terms of shows. I'm still watching the classic cartoons that I think I said once. And I'm currently seeing again The Fresh Prince, which is on HBO Max. This week it's a couple of films that are coming out that I'm hoping to see. The Jodie Foster film, The Maritarian. I think I said it right. It's coming Thursday. On Friday, Judas. I don't remember the rest of the name, but it's on HBO Max, and I think it's gonna be an interesting, very interesting film. So right now, let's get right to it. I don't want to make this video that long. So the first film I saw, this week I saw Mank, but in the last episode I talked about that one, the Gary Oldman film. So on Friday, I saw the movie Malcolm and Marie. Now this is another movie that was filmed during the pandemic, and it's hard to be. I'm not a critic, by no means, but it's hard to really be hard on those films. Forgive me for the lack of better words, because they're doing the best they can within the pandemic. Sorry. So once I knew or read that was the situation, I was a little bit skeptic because of films like Lockdown, which have good actors and good performances, but the films themselves just run out of gas for me. But Malcolm and Marie is being directed by Sam Levinson and stars Zendaya and John David Washington. Now the story is about this couple. They are arriving to their apartment or their house after a movie premiere because Malcolm is a movie director and Marie is his girlfriend. Now what happened is that she was the inspiration for his film. So as they arrive, you can obviously see that she's mad. He's a little bit he does not know that she's mad, but as he begins to inquire, they begin to have long discussions about their relationships, the movie, their art, and all that. So basically, that's the premise of the film. That's basically the main thing in the movie. Okay, so what happened for me? I got tired of the movie because if you are in a relationship, any argument is not fun. And this movie is like an argument that lasted for an hour and 40 minutes. and they weren't compelling. When the movie is based on dialogue and the same location, the same two characters, the whole film, I think you have to have an amazing dialogue to keep you in it, to keep you interested, to see, where is this going? That didn't happen for me. I felt that the fight could have lasted an hour and that would have been fine. And I'm being kind, it should have been shorter. But that's just me. I couldn't quite enjoy the movie. I got tired of the dynamic of the characters. But I will say this. The movie is worth watching because of Washington's and Zendaya's performance. I am not that big of a fan of Zendaya. I've seen her in Spider-Man and the Great Showman, and I think she's good. But I think on this film, she really, I think she gave an amazing performance, and so did John David Washington. They are the only thing I could praise from this film. Yes, it has good things in terms of direction, the shots, the whole black and white thing, just to set the mood of the movie. Those things work, but for me, it was the script. For me, it just grew I grew a little bit tired of the whole fighting, and I just said, stop it already, and. Then the ending was, I don't know, but the both are great in terms of the performance. You have to give it to them, and if you want to see them go ahead and see the movie just to see them, because I think they both, and John David Washington to me already proved it. Black K. Caseman, I think it was great. But this is a good movie where they showcase their great talent. So for that, I think that for me was like the biggest bright spot the film had. So that one is available on Netflix. You can catch it now. It was released on, I think it was released on Friday. And remember, for more details or rating reviews, check out my page, www.luisreviewer.com. There are a lot of things you get to read there, a lot of movies from the past, recent. Anything I see, I try to write something about them. So check it out. Anyway, moving on. Saturday morning, that was on Friday. On Saturday morning, I rented Promising Young Woman. Now, I saw this film a while back and I wanted to see it. It looked interesting. I had no idea what was it about. But when I saw that it received a few nominations for the Golden Globes, I think it sparked a little bit more of my curiosity. So I went against my policy and I I rented it for $20 on Redbox. But it was worth it. It was really worth it. So the movie is directed and written by actually it's the first film, Emerald Fennell, and it stars Carey Mulligan, Bo Burnham, Alison Brie, Clancy Brown, and you got a few scenes with Alfred Molina and Molly Shannon. So basically that is the cast. And the basic story is about Cassie. Cassie was a promising young woman in the sense that she was studying medicine. She wanted to be a doctor. And she went to the university with her childhood friend, Nina. When Nina is at a party and has quite a few drinks and gets raped. And when she goes to the authorities, university authority, and no one believes her, they both drop out. Nina and Cassie, they both drop out. Now, it is not explicitly shown, but you can deduct that Nina committed suicide. And what Cassie did was go late at night to nightclubs, pretending she's drunk. And when a guy tries to help her and takes her to her apartment, she teaches them a lesson. So basically, that's the premise. I don't want to say too much because I think what worked for me was how little I knew. I do have to say that the script was cleverly done. I love that. The movie starts as Cassie is picking up, a guy in a nightclub, and right when she shows him that she's not drunk, it cuts. So you don't know what she's doing. You don't know what she does. You don't know. You don't know anything. You're left there. Of course, then you see. But I love that because it intrigued me. I said, well, wait a minute. What does she do? What is she doing? I love the character of Cassie. She was really sweet in the character. The character was very sweet. She was really guarded. She was really in pain, and I think it showed on the movie. So I think the script worked. I gotta say it was kind of like a thriller with drama because you don't know how the characters play. You don't know in who you could trust in terms of the guy she meets. But it was a great movie. I was really affected by it by the end, which I'm not gonna say much about it. Because just recently I saw on Netflix the documentary, which I think was Audrey. I'm sorry, but I forgot the name, but it was Audrey and another girl's name, and it was heartbreaking to see how these guys in parties do stupid things, and in the film it actually touches this subject in this way, in terms that you cannot defend it in the line where boys will be boys, or it's just a party. I love a scene where I think the character says, "We were kids," and she says, she puts like this face, "If I hear that one more time," because that kind of be an excuse for any type of this type of behavior. But anyway, it brought me back to that documentary, and since I think you as an audience, you feel for this character, and I think it's just so well done, and it's just such a heartbreaking story because of what happens to Nina. I'm not talking about Cassie. I'm talking about Nina, which is the one that was attacked and raped in the party in the film. It's an amazing movie. I really recommend it. Of course, I mean, it's like every movie, it has an audience, and some might like it, some might not, but I found it that it was really great. Carey Mulligan was amazing as Cassie. I think she was really great in her performance. She just carries the film. And I love the scenes with Alfred Molina. Alfred Molina is such an amazing actor. I think he's only has like 10 or 15 minutes in the whole movie, and I think the second best scenes were his. But it's a good movie. Perfectly directed, very well written, and very well acted, very well done. Really, I really love the movie. And one thing that I like is that the music they used matched perfectly with the movie. I have to say that. Really, I think it was really great. So that was Promising Young Woman, another film that's been nominated for Best Movie on the Golden Globes. And Carey Mulligan has been nominated for Best Actress. So, and I think the director has also been nominated. So check it out if you're interested. Now, the last movie that I'm going to be talking about on this podcast is the movie called One Night in Miami. Now, this movie I think is the first film Regina King directed. And it stars Kingsley Benadir, Eli Gorey, Aldous Hodge, and Leslie Odom Jr. So, for me, I wanted to see the film because I like the concept of, the movie basically is a fictionalized account of one day where you get Muhammad Ali, Jim Brown, which was a football player, Malcolm X, and Sam Cooke together on one night. So they just basically took that event and brought us to what possibly could have happened that night between them, the dialogues, the things they talked about, and all that. Now, this is an example of the contradiction to Malcolm and Marie. The movie is basically, it has a few different scenarios because it is not 100% in the room, but once they are together in the room, the movie is basically them four. But the dialogue is so intriguing. What they talk about is also intriguing. It's interesting. It keeps you interested. At least it kept me interested. And it dealt along with the issues of the 60s, the civil rights. Of course, you got Malcolm pushing the brothers to the cause, and Muhammad Ali, which he was in the transition to becoming from Cassius to Muhammad Ali. So this movie, I have to say, was beautifully done. The actors really studied the characters they were playing. Of course, when you got Malcolm, it's hard to compare with the magnificent performance of Denzel Washington. But I have to say, this guy studied the mannerisms of Malcolm. I've seen footage of Malcolm, photos of Malcolm, and documentaries of Malcolm. And Kingsley, which played Malcolm, had the movements from the things he did with his hands, with the glasses. I mean, he was really spot on. The same with Eli, who played Muhammad Ali. He had the voice, the arrogance, right down to the, and the guy who played Jim Brown, that's the least one that I knew, along with Sam Cooke. But they were both great performance too. And I have to say, thanks to this film, I've learned of Sam Cooke, which I never heard his music, and I have to say I started listening to a few of his songs and I liked it. And of course, the song "Change Is Gonna Come" was powerful, and it's powerfully used on the movie. So I think Regina King did a great film. I think it received a nomination for the actor who played Sam Cooke, but I think it deserved a little bit more consideration, I hope, because the Oscars have 10 films. I think it should be at least nominated for Best Picture, because of his historic significance. I'm sorry, and that it really was a good movie. I think it was a great movie, very powerfully directed, and the performances are really great. This one is available on Amazon Prime. That's where I saw it. So if you have Amazon Prime, be sure to check it out. There are a few films in Amazon Prime that they're worth checking out. But definitely One Night in Miami, Promising Young Woman are two films that I highly recommend. Malcolm and Marie, well, if you want to see good performances, go ahead, see it. But in terms of the quality of the film, well, I can't say that I loved the movie. So those are the films that I've seen this week. That is what I wanted to talk a little bit about. There are a lot of good films out there, and I'm hoping to see a few of them which are coming this month, like The Father and Anthony Hopkins. There were a few, and I have the list. I wanted to see I Care a Lot, which is going to be on Netflix. United States versus Billie Holiday. Nomadland is another one that I got on my list. And in terms of series, this on February 23rd, I think, or was it this Tuesday? There's going to be a premiere for the CW, and it's going to be the new show of Superman, which is Lois Lane and Superman. I'm a huge fan of the Superman, so I'm going to be catching it. I confess that I've seen Supergirl and I've seen The Flash, but I'm not a 100% follower. Not because I don't like them, it's just that I think I caught them late, and the fact that I would have to catch up on almost 8 seasons, I think I'm reluctant to get into it. But I do think the shows are good. I do like The Flash, the ones that I think I've seen the first season and half of the second. I think it's a good show, and I'm gonna catch Superman from the beginning because I do like Superman. It's one of my favorite characters. So anyway, I will keep. I'll hopefully now I got a little more time because this episode substitutes Thursday, so hopefully I'll be able to see a couple of more films to talk about for the next episodes. So anyway, I want to thank you if you were listening or watching the video on YouTube. Take care.